The Case Against Coin Collecting: Thoughts and Reflections on the Consumption Which Drives Our Hobby. This video contains a short overview on a topic that has been on my mind in the last few months, and I hope that you will give this video a listen in its entirety before responding in the comment section or deciding whether you agree or not. What I discuss will be controversial, but this talk comes from a place in which I see my own faults. No one or thing but my own habits and practices have inspired this video. You may see parallels with your own collecting journey. However, everything I mention, I'm guilty of all of it. So the following is written from myself, addressed to myself. With that in mind, let's jump in. In what place, in what industry, in what area does consumerism and consumption truly drive happiness? What item, product, or service gives you lasting joy? How many times have you seen an ancient coin listed for sale which perfectly matches your collection? With a racing heart and a light sweat, your mind becomes inflamed with the desire, no, the very need to own that coin. You check your bank account, but you don't have enough money to afford it. Going online, you quickly sell some other coins in your collection to raise the funds so you can bid. Or maybe you dip into that savings account, which is there only for emergencies, but you make this one-time exception. After all, this is a very rare coin target, and one that you may not see again, so the excuse is made and the money is taken. Yet, it's not a one-time exception. You often scramble and make money before an auction. Maybe you justify it by claiming you were going to sell those extra coins anyways, so it might as well be now. Maybe you justify it by claiming you'll put that money back into savings later. But it keeps happening, and reflect back on your own journey. How many times have you made such exceptions? And is the exception then really that, or has it become more of a norm? In the time leading up to the auction, you are nervous and anxious. You can't wait for the days to fly by just so you can bid on that dream coin. You are worried you might lose and stressed you might forget about the live bidding session. The day of the auction comes and you set a limit to your bid. But in the heat of the moment, you increase beyond that anyways. And say you win the coin. With a grimace, you now pay the invoice, which always seems to end up costing more than you calculated. And with a depleted bank account and with a few days ruined with anticipation for this auction, at least you can say you won the coin. With joy, you now count down the days until that coin arrives, and then that same coin goes into your case to be looked at once, maybe twice a month. The joy and happiness gained from winning it was fleeting. The newness of the item which made it desirable has now worn off. But wait, a new ancient coin target just got listed that you absolutely must have. This is a dream coin that you may not see again. And so the cycle repeats. Over and over and over. And what is it that you hope to accomplish by doing this? How many times have these unwise purchases cost you something beyond the money? How many times have they placed stress on you due to stretched finances? How many times have they placed stress on a relationship with a partner or a spouse? How many hours have you wasted thinking about coin targets only to see yourself outbid at the last moment? How many days of your life has the hobby consumed? How many years? And now, can you really call it that? Just a hobby? Or are you borderlining an obsession, an addiction? From a purely financial standpoint, it's quite unwise to conduct these practices. And reflect back on your own journey. When you are in need of money for whatever reason, where do you turn? Is it to your collection, to sell a coin or two quickly to access that money? To buy these coins, you stretch your financial limits only to sell the ones you no longer like as much to meet financial deadlines. Our main desires of today become the coins relegated for resale tomorrow. Such a financial overcommitment and then a later need to resell is an unwise way to live financially. You would have been much better off, more secure, and less stressed had you simply not overspent on a coin to begin with. And how many times have you pushed the limit of what you can spend just to win a coin that you later sell? Take a step back and reflect. All this wheeling, all this dealing in your life, and what do you have to show for it? Does the hobby really give you joy? Can you say your collection of coins, ancient artifacts, whatever it is, really makes you happy? Is your enjoyment in life defined by the things you buy and own? Or do you tell yourself your collection is all for the future? You want to amass a collection to maybe publish one day. You want to have the best coins of a certain era. Well, there's some tough news here. You will never have the best collection in the world, in any era. Even if you become a billionaire, like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, with practically unlimited funds, you will never match the museums of Europe who have thousands of unique and priceless coins. No matter how much money you have, you can't buy that grade, that quality of piece, or of coins. And let's say you're not even that ambitious. You don't want to have the best collection in the world for your era. You just want to have a collection that's better than others. And even if you don't have the world's best collection, you can at least take pride in what you have. But what does this say about you? That you spent less time with friends and family than other coin collectors? That you spent more of your life shopping around online than doing things that actually matter? You spent more money than other collectors? That you have more money, that you're wealthier? What is there to applaud here? The very paths which create a great collection are having wealth and ignoring the things in life which matter most. But, you respond, I gain enjoyment from them. But did those coin wins truly make you happy? Who is happy with what they have? For surely, if you had true happiness in your collection, you wouldn't seek to buy more. Because you aren't content and you want to have more and more new coins, and more, and that cycle never stops. By the very aspect of being a collecting-based hobby, you can never be truly fulfilled, for there will always be more coin types to own, new discoveries found, and minor variations to add. And this is the true danger in prioritizing your hobby above other aspects in your life. And be frank, how much time have you spent on the hobby? How much money have you spent on the hobby? And what do you have to show for it? An ever-growing desire to buy more and more and more coins? One coin bought leads to two more we need. Or the coin we bought means we buy the book, and after reading the book, we have to buy the coins that were mentioned in the book. When you finance a coin purchase above the fiscal well-being level in your life, you are prioritizing coins above financial safety. When you risk the wrath of family or friends to purchase a coin, you are prioritizing coins above relationships. When you stress out about winning coins days before the auction, you are prioritizing coins above your own well-being. And a problem in the field of numismatics, which allows us to often ignore the truth, is that we tell ourselves we collect history. What we do, it's not crass consumerism, but the work of a historian. But what real difference is there between ourselves and an avid comic book collector, or even a Funko Pop collector? The only real difference here is arrogance. Many of us would mock the hobbies of others as foolish and childish. Our own hobby is the hobby of kings, the hobby of Augustus. When we do it, it's an act of gentlemanly inquiry into history. When they do it, it's financial irresponsibility. It doesn't matter what you call the greed to have more and more of an object. A pig in a bow tie is a pig all the same. Ancient coins will not give lasting happiness. They will not bring true joy. They will not bring fulfillment. And do not be deceived into thinking this is the case. If you are content with what you have with your coins, I applaud you. For I am not. I find the more and more I get into this hobby, the more I specialize, the more I need certain coins, the more I'm willing to spend on coins, the more I'm willing to prioritize these coins over other aspects of my life, the more I make coins my life. Now that's a bit dramatic, but I hope you can see the dangers lying herein. How are ancient coins dominating your life? Where a man spends his time and energy, there too you will find the content of his character and his heart's desire. Do you have a hobby, or do you have an obsession? Now, whether or not this video sounded like you and your collecting habits, I don't know. As for me, This has been part of my collecting journey for a while now, a combination of financial mismanagement and avarice which has combined to give me no real benefit. Be wise and spend within your means. Even if you can afford to buy very expensive coins, why do it? Do they really give more happiness? Happiness that lasts? Reflect, change, and grow. There are many areas better than ancient coins to put your money in. Saving for your future for one, charity, helping others for another. And that's not to say don't buy ancient coins. Rather, don't put significant amount of your wealth into them. I will still collect, I will still research coins, and I will still make videos. But I won't have an obsession in my life, I will have a hobby. Some things are worth centering your life around, others certainly aren't. For no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. Evaluate your life and where your priorities are. You cannot serve both God and money.